Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Luce, and now we have another quest for the Yokoi. Buried Memories. Farfar would send someone to Warlord's Echo. Coda, well, perfect timing. I was just about to make my way to the mountain, up the mountain, but now that you're here, there's a small but vital task I'd like to entrust to you. Sounds good to me? You see, we're currently in the process of restoring a larder that Dartigor used to store not only food, but also, apparently also ceremonial offerings during the Pact. We found many food items we uncovered in the ruins, but as of yet, we have no way of knowing which were for eating and which were for the offerings. There's a merchant in War's Echo by the name of Kerbeler, with whom Dartigor often had dealings. I thought perhaps he might know if any of the wares she traded were for use for the ritual. Well, seems like as good a lead as any. I would send one of our own, but every pair of hands is busy clearing the snow, and I was about to join them in fact. Dartigor's living sepulchre has yet to be found. That leaves you with the merchant on our behalf, much less laborious task than the one that awaits me, I promise you. Can you do this? You know, that actually does feel pretty good. They're asking me for a task, but they're having it be one of the lesser problems. Then again, I guess that's supposedly the theory of what's going on here. Thank you. Merchant Kerbal, I hope his knowledge can help us. Once again, the merchant's name. Yeah, I guess that is generally how these work. The lion's share of the work is, in fact, done by the group and faction that you're doing the reputation quests with. And the daily quests are basically just random chores they have, since the assumption is your character is coming by to offer a hand or two, which they just grab a couple things that need to be doing, but aren't completely essential. Helpful to be sure, but to other people, I'll do them later in the day if need be. Oh, excuse me. Dartigor from the mountain? Oh yes, I remember her. We would trade on occasion. Though she never mentioned this pact you speak of. Thinking back, however, it does shine new light on one particular aspect of our little dealings. As I recall, she would usually ask for an assortment of dried meats and seasonings, the type of food that would last. Such items would be difficult to come by in the snow peaks. Nothing peculiar about that, but the tender she used was a bit unusual. You see, she traded me corn and corn seeds, which she claimed to grow herself. Huh. Quite the strange crop for such a frigid climate, right? She said it was a singular type, bred over generations to withstand the freezing weather. Of course, I couldn't deny such an uncommon opportunity, but I took one bite and regretted my choice straight away. Haha! Still, I figured I could still sell it as feed or process as something usable, so I accepted her produce whenever she visited. Dartigor seemed to have a hard life up on the mountain, so I was happy to provide her with what she needed. The one time I suggested that growing something besides the corn might solve her problems, you know what she said? My order took great care in cultivating it to match the tastes of our dear friends. Ah, the friends are the spirits. Interesting, interesting. So, considering she lived alone, I wasn't sure what she meant, but she was so earnest in answer, I decided not to press further. But now the pieces are falling into place. I gather this corn has something to do with your little ritual. You know, I've been wanting to meet Farafar in the hands of Zorgoth for some time. Allow me to accompany you in the mountain. Word of work being done has reached us here in Warlord's Echo, and I've wondered how I could contribute, and now's my chance to find out. They could definitely use the hands of some giants to help out, that's for certain. Excellent. We're definitely the catalyst that's getting all this along, but at the end of the day, they have to. This is their problem to solve. Granted, I believe it did ask if we could just defeat them again, but now they want to live in harmony. You know what? There's been enough killing all this time. Solving a problem reasonably feels like a nice change of pace at this point. As per usual, with these reputation quests, I've got a full set ready. Tireless hand. This is a friend of yours, Coda? I was quite surprised when I saw him emerge from the passage. Still, he is more than welcome. I would have let him know about the challenges we face. There you are, Coda. Farafar here might be young, but she has takes to leading naturally. I'm impressed with how much progress everyone has made so far. Most of the others are resting now, but Farafar is clearing snow all day long. I can barely lift my arms. Ah, hard day's work deserves a hearty reward, wouldn't you agree? I'll treat you to some of my delicious wares when it's done. Once it's done. By the way, Farfar, do you have any insight as to what Dartagor was referring to before? Those dear friends she and others grew the corn for. She must have meant the snow spirits. The corn must have been a crucial part of the ritual. Given it was grown and harvested among snow, it would make sense that spirits would have a taste for it. I suppose the lard are housed a healthy stock. Even so, I fail to see how anyone, spirits or no, could eat this stuff. Perhaps the caretakers processed it somehow before making the offering. Without knowing the techniques, however, growing it now may not be the wisest path. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I've been meaning to mention there's a large stone we found buried. The carvings were quite distinct. Are you saying we found the sepulchre, her living structure? If it's indeed the stone we're searching for, it could hold the answers we need. The way forward is clear. We shovel the rest of the snow. If only it were so simple. The snow around the stone is frozen solid. Maybe ice picks could help us free it. With tools, we risk damaging the stone and thus losing the precious stone carved. As of now, we lack the means to remove it cleanly from the ice. Coda, could you return with me to the shelter? The tool we need requires a deft hand to craft, and I cannot make them alone. Well, I suppose if you need extremely delicate work, a weaver would be good for that. Much appreciated. Let's focus on seeing the sepulchre safely rescued. In the meantime, others should continue their work on the larder. Remember to give yourselves time and rest every once in a while. Kerbler. Since I'm already here, I might as well stay a while and help. We'll see if young Farfar has a place for me. We'll have the larder back in shape before you know it. You two would do what you need to see the stone free from the snow. Good to know our reputation is going well enough that... Yeah, good to know our reputation is going well enough that others are willing to help out just because they want to see how this all goes down. And also thankful that the Yakoi like to write all their instructions on stone tablets and such, given that makes sure it will last pretty well. I recall reading an article at one point that suggested that Mount Rushmore was so deliberately carved that even in extreme weather or conditions, it should last long enough that even if humanity died out, to end a new race of inhabited the earth, the new race would be capable of growing sentience, whatever the right term is. I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head. But whatever that word is, they'll develop that and realize, wait a minute, these aren't natural. That is how long Mount Rushmore is going to last. I realize not everything can be made from stone and stuff, but at the very least, it'd be nice if things last a bit more than planned obsolescence, if you get what I mean. If my intuition is correct, the sepulchre will contain details, and while I'd like it uncovered as quickly as possible, the task must be attended with care, which is why I entrust no one else with crafting the tools but you. You're not one to disappoint. Brushes will help us clear away so we can more easily see the hard ice. Can I trust you to make them? Word for I will keep you stocked with the supplies you need. Good luck, though I know you need it not. Ice removal tools. Normal quality, it looks like, so... Maybe I should have just gone with trained eye. Well, it doesn't matter, honestly. Here we are. Have you finished already? Good, good. May I have a look? I said you do not disappoint. These will help us free the sepulchre from that stubborn ice. With work on the larder going well, our goals feel close at hand. I want to rush headlong to the end, but I know haste will only set us back. Yeah, unfortunate. The fact of the matter is, we do need to make sure that we do this right. If you need to choose between doing the job right and doing the job fast, you need to choose right first and then fast. Ideally both, of course. Beautiful, is it not? Despite his age, Kerbler may have hauled more snow than the rest of us combined. Dang, the old man got hands. Having a place to store our daily food stuff would certainly make our lives easier. Of course, we also tend to devote space to the cold-resistant corn after we can grow and harvest it. I hear the others have already found the plot cornfield, so the larder may become crowded soon enough. I only hope we can figure out exactly how the plant fits into the ritual. I've missed you, Dartagor. Although it may take time, I promise to read every single word you have left us. I've always enjoyed the wisdom and wit of your conversation, and now I've been blessed to speak with you again. Nothing could make me happier. Aw. Gonna make me tear up. Her grandmother's helping her even after her loss. Awesome. Deciphering the story of Dartagor and the spirits will take time, so please be patient. It seems I must consult the surrounding stone work to glean its entire meaning. The high larder has been restored, giving the Yokoi a place to store their food. The living sepulchre may hold the secrets of the pact, but there's yet work to be done until it is deciphered. Respected. Oh, no achievement this time. Right, it skips a level this time. Not a big deal, honestly. I still need to do all these in preparation since there is still planned to be a master reputation quest this expansion. As I mentioned in the previous recordings, they were in all expansions except for Shadowbringers, and Shadowbringers probably had to cut it entirely because of the COVID thing. So, yeah. I don't know why some crafting stuff I like this in the custom buildwaries, and some I'm not as big on, like Ishgard Restoration and Cosmic Exploration. Not sure why. I don't know, maybe I'm just too DPS brained. I mean, that does cause me to have trouble, even when playing healer or tank. When the HP isn't dropping very quickly, I typically start getting antsy, since as much as people joke that a DPS doesn't have any particular job, yeah, the DPS job is to ensure that that enrage never goes off. It's also why I'm a bit confused when people see an enrage and immediately go, okay, time for the supports to start pushing their damage. Shouldn't the DPS be doing that more than anyone else? Even at their absolute best, a tank is only going to do about 40% of what a DPS can. That's the kind of difference we're talking here. Table too few. Oh, our saviors come. Carving on the wooden crockery should be no trouble for an artisan of your caliber, right? Materials at your disposal. Once you craft the tableware supplies, deliver them. Help with the larder. Perfect. I have all the crafting materials needed. My task is for you is to fashion some sturdy leather sacks. Do not hesitate to ask if you need anything else to get the job done. Huh. Interesting. I had to do high quality before, but not now. Then again, that was only one particular high quality, so maybe that's the reason why. I should really be using groundwork more, but I just hate how it doubles the usage. Although I suppose the whole point is to use it with waste not or manipulation. Incidentally, I didn't realize I had to do the job quest to unlock manipulation, so I was wondering why so many recommended macros didn't work. Granted, a lot of them are from Shadowbringers or earlier, so some of them just don't work anymore because the gear is too good. That is a flaw with vertical progression. It does mean every time there's an update, you have reason to care because there's going to be direct upgrades that you will care about. But at the same time, it does mean nothing is permanent, and things can get weird. Alright, I'm not a carpenter, I'm a weaver. And I'm using this on Weaver because it expedites the process a bit more, because it's the best geared one. As I mentioned, I've been trying... When I do crafting stuff, I've mostly been defaulting to Weaver because I don't know, it just feels right. Maybe because Rarity's best pony, maybe because Balk is best boy, I don't know. Yes, that was an Elden Ring reference. How many other Balks do you know? We'll give it to the kitchen master here. Dirty dishes require my attention. Tableware supplies. Oh, merciful fate. This will spare me from having to wash everything the moment our diners gobble their last morsel. Your contributions are appreciated. After all, we want workers to enjoy meals and each other's company without feeling rushed or the need to wait for their turn. When you see Viagar, tell me you need to eat too. No one goes hungry on my watch. Please tell me you've come with solutions to our storage woes. Storage supplies. Yep. Lucky you, yes. Yes, these will be a considerable help. The thought of our foodstuffs languishing in an ill-prepared larder is almost physical pain. Should we have needed more storage, I hope we can turn to you again. Oh, dang, this is beautiful. Those little ice crystals. You know, stuff like this are why I tend to like snow or winter-themed areas in video games. The ice formations, crystals, snow escapes, those can have a pretty nice aesthetic to them. Kerblor. Greetings, Coda. I'm always glad when you stop by to view our progress. The larder has proven invaluable to us. Having to place to store our food means fewer trips hauling loads up the mountains. If only we knew what the unsavory corn's for. I'm sure Farrafur will figure it out in time. Another icicle in the market? You might need a lighter one than usual. Here, a freshly harvested hunk of ice made of the mountain spring water. Hurry this down to the Solus, and you should find the peddler friend waiting by Kozmauka. I'm just gonna go the long way. I don't want to waste waste money, rather, teleporting. Teleporting is definitely a lot faster, but it does, in fact, eat through your money quickly, as I found out. I really should be doing more hunts in the general sense so that I can get more of those. But Realm Reborn ones are actually a bit rarer, since those are harder to find and get your hands on. Nice, he's at the... Yeah, he's at the gate to Kozmauka. Luckily, we don't need to actually go to Kozmauka. Which is good, because like Urk, Kapaka, and Yaktel, these three areas don't really have a reason to ever go back here if you're not specifically doing the reputation quest for them. Well, that's a neat effect with the zone marker. Ah, you brought the Yokoi's ice down the mountain? Spring water icicle. An icicle freshly harvested by the hard larder. Yes, this is exquisite. So clear, so beautiful. But as much as I'd like to stand here yapping at the various and lucrative applications of this frozen spring water, I must trot this over to Tuliolol right away. Thank you for your fleet-footed delivery, and let Voyagar know I'll bring him his share of profits upon my return. Yeah, the quest for this area with the Pelu Pelu side actually does point out the big deal about the differences between the Pelu Pelu and the Ul'dah merchants, because they have quite the clash. It does eventually work out, but it does require her screwing things up first. It's a nice quest, actually. I liked it. Hard for the long term. Living in an icy mountain means relying on food shipments from below, but the climate is such that we must plan for infrequent resupplies. Should we allow our Larador's warriors to spoil our bellies, would be in for a difficult spell. That's why the master and his helpers are serious about foodstuff storage. It seems he was pleased with the contributions, however, so I hope he'll consider lending your skills again if ever needed. Table for too few. We're near dead again. It seems it may have seemed a trivial request, but being able to relax is also an important part of the meal. The kitchen master demands I come to a table. Well, perhaps I should stop by soon and have a bowl of one of his tasty stews. The restoration work can be exhausting, but many have remarked upon the satisfaction they feel upon once it returns to its former glory. I too am finding much to savor as we labor and toil to break bread together over this common cause. It's helping bring the community together is the big thing. Thank you for seeing the icicle safely to the peddler's hands. I imagine our patrons Julio will be grateful for the new shipment. An ordinary ice can be created through magics, of course, but when it comes to creating frozen dishes, I'm to understand the gentle flavor of our natural spring water is highly coveted. In any case, we're fortunate to have this arrangement in place. I can only hope the ice remains popular until we've completed work on the restoration. Yeah, they would come and go, so you have to be very careful of that. Easy repairs here. There we are. Any new things to exchange? Not yet. Next time, maybe. I'm tempted to buy these, but... Oh. But yeah, the mount's probably going to be in the next level. In fact, they'll probably even have revealing what it is exactly, so... Alright. Alright, so I guess that'll be all for now. This is just a short recording, but I am really liking this storyline so far. So we definitely need to keep this up. But that's going to be all for now. Until next time, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. I'll see you later.